If it became a pandemic in 2071, then why didn't they just call it COVID-71? They did for a while, but the late great George Carlin once said that 71 is the same as 69 with 2 fingers up your ass. So people started calling it COVID with 2 fingers up your ass. Furthermore, the very first case of COVID-69 was reported on August 16, 2069, and which occurred on the 100th anniversary of one of the second greatest moments in American history, because Jimi Hendrix was singing Purple Haze at Woodstock. While the greatest moment in American history occurred in 1991 when G.G. Allen was singing Ass Lickin', Cunt Lickin', Masturbation. Meanwhile, Marjorie Taylor Greene's husband was an anti-gay, homophobic crusader, and he was able to get gay marriage outlawed and gay rights overturned. He said, the Bible says that being a queer, gay, queer homosexual goes against the teachings of Jesus. Meanwhile, Marjorie Taylor Greene's husband was a repressed, closeted homosexual who enjoyed sucking dick, and he enjoyed getting fucked in the ass in parks and in public bathrooms. And if that's not all, he enjoyed sniffing poppers when men fucked him in the ass. He had just gotten home after a man fucked him in the ass in a public park, and Marjorie Taylor Greene said, I want you to fuck me. And he was feeling a painful gastrointestinal cramps in his abdominal area. And while he took off his clothes, and when he pulled down his underpants, she noticed that he had skid marks and shit stains in them. And he said, I'm ready to stick my pretty little pecker in you, honey. And then all of a sudden, he lost control of his bowels, and a bunch of diarrhea squirted all over Marjorie Taylor Greene's face. And then a bunch of blood squirted all over her face as well. And at this point, you may be wondering what happens next. I will get to that later. Then it has something to do with COVID-69. This country peaked on August 16, 1969, when Jimi Hendrix was singing Purple Haze at Woodstock. And the Stonewall riots occurred in 1969, because gay people had enough of being treated like shit. And then there was a sexual freedom movement going on during so much of the 1970s until Anita Bryant came along. And if you don't know who Anita Bryant was, she was this extremely homophobic fucking cunt. Back in the 1970s, the gay community was radical, and they believed in freedom and the freedom to fuck, and a lot of gay men enjoyed sniffing poppers when they fucked. Those were the good old days. Then, during the 1980s, the government created AIDS, which was caused when they were vaccinated from hepatitis B. That led to the gay community getting sanitized, and it was toned down, and a bunch of PC fucks, and everything turned to shit. Most gay people used to enjoy having a stick up their ass, and then they ended up having a stick up their ass. But then the good news is that will lead to the collapse of uncivilized Western civilization. Gay pride should not be about being a closed-minded chicken forest. It should be about hanging out in the bathrooms at the gas station and sucking dick through the glory hole in the gas station, in the bathrooms. And also there was this website for gay people, which was run by a bunch of PC fucks, and a lot of gay men, and they claim that gay men don't sniff poppers anymore except old guys. Well, oh really? Poppers are one of the biggest industries in the gay community. So that's a fact. That's not my opinion, and facts don't care about your feelings. Then Marjorie Taylor Greene's husband sucked the guy's dick in the bathroom at a gas station, when it turned out that it was an undercover police officer who slapped the handcuffs on him, and he was willing to let him off the hook and not go to jail, but only if he agreed to get vaccinated from COVID-69. there were some warnings that if you are gay and as soon as you get vaccinated from COVID-69, you have to give up sniffing poppers when you fuck, or it will cause all kinds of horrible shit to happen, and side effects, and all kinds of weird shit to happen. And then through, where am I? Then the gay guy was vaccinated, who sniffed poppers, so he pulled down his pants and took a piss on Anita Bryant's grave, which caused her to come back from the dead as a lesbian vampire. And then while Marjorie Taylor Greene's husband was shitting out diarrhea and blood, which was caused by COVID-69, she pulled out her gun. And after he got diarrhea all over her face, he pulled out his gun and shot her. And Marjorie Taylor Greene said, "I love my gun, and I love shooting pictures of Antifa, and I love shooting communists." But then the good news is Marjorie Taylor Greene turned into a lesbian vampire, and the good news is this led to David Carradine invading Earth with his spaceships. And let's not forget that David Carradine became the new Messiah who got the crook while he was jerking off after yours truly got diagnosed with Asperger's.
Whoa!